teachers have to be aware, have the knowledge and understanding and the engagement themselves to try to connect with the students who are in their classroom. So if you have mostly Black students or students of color or whoever in your classroom, that's who you need to be teaching to.
Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Thoughts and Visions. I am your host, T. Moore. We are here on location in beautiful Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It is the summertime. The weather is about 82, 83 degrees. And yes, we are here before Brown season. The Browns take over. I am here with Miss
Dr. Ebonie Lamb, also known as the Courageous Educator.
The Courageous Educator. Listen, when you think about Pittsburgh, what's one of the first things that comes to mind?
When I think about Pittsburgh, first thing that comes to mind, Steelers, Pirates.
Okay. Just go straight to the sports.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you been in Pittsburgh your whole life?
I've been in Pittsburgh my whole life, born and raised in Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Now, the intro, as far as the two career paths, one is the entrepreneur and the other one is a teacher.
Yes.
Now, I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, friends, Romans, countrymen, reading is fundamental. And the difference between Clevelanders and Pittsburgh people, Clevelanders, we like to kind of pronounce every word, every letter in a syllable. I just want to let you know this. So I got to tell this story, man. Only family knows this, and we cry in tears every time we hear it. So one day we was traveling, we was going, it was a family function, and I think we was breaking off to go kick it somewhere, right? And I came across this school that I used to see all the time, and I knew a prevalent point guard that played at this school. And the name of the school in my mind was called Duquesne. I mean, Duquune, something like that. I'm pronouncing every letter.
Say it again.
Duquesne is what. So as I say Duquesne, the whole truck bust out laughing in tears. Now, my family is the type of family that's going to laugh at you and with you. But this is what happened that night. And everybody bust out in tears. So, Miss Educator, Miss Ebonie, could you tell me the correct pronunciation of this college I was talking about?
The correct pronunciation is Duquesne University.
You see, reading is fundamental. It is absolutely fundamental. I went from Duquesne to Duquesne University.
And you were excited too. You was like, yeah, to go Duquesne. Yeah, I was like, no.
I said it with all the confidence that I had in my body, in my soul.
Duquesne University.
Yes, that's what it is.
I also graduated from Duquesne University with my bachelor's and one of my master's.
That is awesome.
Master's in school counseling, bachelor's in elementary special education.
Now, let's touch on that a little bit. Was it in public schools? Was it in charter schools, private schools?
I worked in public schools. I worked in the private school briefly, but most of my 21 years was in public schools.
Now, as an educator and being in public schools and in public settings and understanding what, the public clientele has, what would you say is one of the things that you feel like is really lacking that can really help public schools?
Yes. A lot of things, but when you want to get to the root cause of the issue, is setting conditions to retain and nurture Black educators.
Okay, if you had the key to the city, the key to the educational corporations, and they said, Here's the green light. You can do and you can change whatever it is that you want to change. What would be some of the first things that you would instill as far as change?
Well, I would use the setting conditions, anti-racist education, anti-racist curriculum, teaching and learning.
Now, the public school system in Cleveland is, I came through it, but it was years ago. And although I didn't feel the racism like dead on, I felt like, and I seen other people go through situations, and I wanted to know if it was kind of sort of the same way here. Now, you can have a good kid coming from a good home, and sometimes the environment, what's around him leaving the porch and having to walk or catch the bus to certain schools or certain areas can turn him into a different individual because of the violence, because of he's not from my area, he's not from my hood. Do you find those type of things as far as today's climate in public school settings, or is it different here?
Oh, it's definitely the same.
Okay.
Definitely the same 100%. And you said something about the environment, because my years as a teacher, I would hear other teachers say, well, it's because of their environment, the way they act. But let's dissect that. So you got the home environment, you got the community environment, and you got the school environment. So which environment are you talking about? Because from my experience, it's all three. So you just can't say it's because of their environment. You're talking about their community, because we're serving mostly Black kids or kids of color in underserved neighborhoods. But it's also the school environment, because it's not anti-racist teaching and learning. It's not an anti-racist curriculum. So we as teachers, staff, whoever is in the public schools, each individual school or district, we are that environment that is causing harm.
We as a people?
We as the school environment, we as the community.
Yes.
Because we all have to work together. There's no separate entity. I think education, we get focused into we pit each other against each other. You got the parents blaming the school, you got the school blaming the parents, the school blaming the community blaming the school, and none of us are working together. But we say we want change.
That's the easy way out.
It is.
To point the finger at somebody else and not really take the accountability.
Right.
That's the easy way out. What made you want to pursue education? Why were you so passionate about becoming an educator?
Yeah, that's a good question. And the research and the data shows that if we're Black kids or likely to be taught by a Black teacher, they do better. And that's true, because I wanted to be a teacher since I was in Head Start pre-K. My Head Start teacher was a Black woman.
Wow.
And I used to come home every day, brag about her. My mom and dad used to hear about her every single day. I think they got tired of me talking about her, in a good way,
right?
Because I just wanted to be like her so bad.
Right.
Then the two different neighborhoods I grew up in, I had all the kids in the community. They were the students and I was the teacher, and that's what we did on the weekends and in the summertime.
So you went back to the community that you grew up in to teach?
Oh, no, when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
On the weekends,
okay,
we would play school.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, you were serious about it. Yeah, I don't know if I knew any kids that was playing school on the weekend.
Playing school.
Yeah. So, you was bound to be somebody. I mean, goodness gracious. So the grades that you taught, were they like elementary, were they junior high, were they high school, or was it a mix of all of it?
So throughout my 21 careers. I taught pre-K to 12th grade. I started out in middle school, then I eventually went to high school for about 7 or 8 years. I went back to middle school, then I taught elementary, but I taught pre-K as soon as I came out of college.
Now, having all those different experiences, where would you say it was like the pivotal point to really catch kids? Is it at the elementary point? Is it at the preschool? Is it kindergarten? Is it middle school? Because, you know, they say the teenage years, you know, the kids start to kind of start smelling themselves and get a little more rambunctious. Or is it, where would you say is that pivot, that shift to where you feel like most teachers can be effective the most?
I would definitely say pre-K and kindergarten.
Early.
Yeah, but a student can still have that teacher to mentor them and be their coach and help them out throughout the years. But the only thing with that, as they go on to the later grades, that same teacher doesn't travel with them. So they lose that support. And then in pre-K and kindergarten, I don't like, if people would notice how happy pre-K and kindergarten kids are to go to school and everybody's raising their hand and jumping around. But if you notice, well, I definitely noticed as a teacher, they lose that engagement first, second grade. By the time they get to third grade, they're done.
As far as the enthusiasm?
As far as just wanting to be there. It's not fun. It's not engaging. It's not culturally relevant. Like they're not connected to what is being taught.
Now,
life experiences.
Is it a must if you're a teacher that you go, step by step, hand by hand, by the curriculum that the state or the government is trying to deliver, or can you tweak it? Mm-hmm. Can you tweak the curriculum? Can you do some things on your own to kind of get the kids more engaged?
Mm-hmm. Now, when I was a teacher during my years, I always did that.
Okay.
But I know in my district, years ago, like more than 10 years ago, you did have to be on a certain page a certain day. But we have the district, and I know other districts have gotten away with that because the data has shown for many years that doesn't work. But there are standards that you have to go by. So as long as you go by that standard, teachers have to be aware, have the knowledge and understanding and the engagement themselves to try to connect with the students who are in their classroom. So if you have mostly Black students or students of color or whoever in your classroom, that's who you need to be teaching to. Mm-hmm. So we have, I know in our district and throughout the United States, most of our teachers are white women. So they're teaching from their perspective, from their cultural lens, yes. But that's not who they're teaching. So there's a disconnect.
Yes. And that can lead the kid to be disconnected, mm-hmm. disengaged, not enthusiastic about what's being taught because there's no connection there.
Right.
When you think about a teacher, in your opinion, what makes a great teacher? Hmm. And on the flip side, tell me what you think, in your opinion, what makes a bad teacher?
Yeah, well, this is going to be very easy for me to say. So what makes a good teacher is a teacher who is willing to stand up for him or herself and for their students. And then the bad teacher will be the opposite. So-called bad teacher will be the opposite. And what I mean by that is that if whoever have worked in the school before, I think know what I mean, because there's all types of things that go on in school that are not good for students. So
give me an example.
Okay, so all right, I'll give you one example. What is being taught? So I don't know if you heard, but I think mostly everybody have heard that Black kids are not reading on grade level.
Yes.
Right?
That's across the nation.
That's across the nation.
Yeah.
Black kids, why not?
Got to be a strategy today.
So
Systematic.
you mean tell me your child goes to school 5 days a week, sits in a reading class for at least 60 minutes, and they can't read?
Do you think...
What is going on?
Okay, let me chime in right there. Because in this new microwave era, in this new era of everything is happening like this instantaneously, do you feel like the time as far as being in the classroom setting is too long?
Absolutely. Why are we having kids sit in a classroom for over 60 minutes for reading and math doing worksheets? What is that accomplishing? We're teaching to a test. We're teaching them how to choose the correct answers, right? So that's what I mean by culturally relevant teaching. We're either going to teach them how to choose the correct answer, which it hasn't been working because they're still below basic on standardized tests, or we're going to teach the kids who are in front of us. And first, that takes building a relationship to even know who the kids that you have in front of you. So before you even get to teaching, opening up the curriculum book or whatever, you have to build a relationship. Who are these people in front of you? We want to jump so fast into the curriculum and we want to go through all the standards and through all the eligible content, but we don't even truly know who these kids are.
That goes a long way too, because if I feel like it's some familiar here, if I feel like it's a level of trust there, it helps me be able to let my guard down. It helps me to be able to be more engaged, more eager, more enthusiastic to listen, to learn, to want to ask questions. That takes me back. And this was in high school. We used to have this English teacher by the name of Mr. Lee. He was an Asian guy. And he was on Zen back then. If the class would get too loud, he would be like, calm down, relax. You guys, his tone was like that every single day. I'm like, this dude got to be a serial killer or something, man. This is insane. He's like, class.
He's too calm.
Too calm. Like, every single day. But what he used to do was challenge us. And he would just call upon anybody to read. And I ain't gonna call my guy out, but this is my dog to this day. Every time he would call on this one particular guy, he'd be like, hey, I want you to read line or whatever, paragraph, whatever. He'd be like, embarrassed, and put his head down every single time because he couldn't read.
Yeah.
He was really good in football, but he couldn't read. So after school, Mr. Lee would work with him. We'll work with him. And he finally got it up to level. And actually, he got a book out today. You know, so
building that relationship.
That is what it's about.
T-shirt.
Yes. I see exactly what you mean.
Yes. Because he knew he was good at football. All the teachers know who's good at
Yes.
football. All the teachers know who's on the football team.
Yes.
But some of those students, they're not passing.
Yes. Not about what they do. They pass it because we need you on that field. Yeah, for sure.
Because that's all that matters, the field.
Yeah. In our eyes.
It's on the field.
Yeah. Could be a field nigga. You know?
It's on the field.
Yeah. Now, segueing here just a little bit. We're stepping outside of the teaching realm and we're walking into entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Is this business, does it have any similarities to what was going on with school, or is it just something totally different?
Oh no, it's not totally different. So I'll always be a teacher. I'm a teacher forever. That's my Instagram, forever teaching. I'm an educator, and like you said, I'm going into the entrepreneurship. So I call myself an edupreneur, but I am the CEO and lead consultant of consulting. It's called Education Empowerment.
Education empowerment.
Yes, Education Empowerment.
What was the thinking? What was the reason? What was the why behind this?
Why? Because, like I said before, I'm always going to be a teacher, and my why and what I do, I stand up for Black teachers. I support them. I advocate for them. I help them to walk in their power and not to be silenced while still teaching in the classroom if they're still in the classroom, and also teachers who are not in the classroom to still walk in their power, because there are a lot of teachers still in the classroom, and some of them really want to be there regardless of all the things that they're going through. Could be family, personal, but also inside the school system. So they really need that support and guidance and knowing how to walk in their power and not to be silenced, because that's what being a teacher is nowadays. It's just being silenced, going through the motions.
I'm about to make a point here. It's going to seem kind of off, but I'm going to come back around to it. It seems as if the most important or the most impactful careers are the lowest paid. I used to be working the social work field, and I used to be the program manager for mental health services, which was a spot for homeless men. And it was the most rewarding job that I ever had in my life. But the pay was little to nothing.
Nothing.
And the impact that I feel like I was having was very important. But, you know, you weigh impact versus the salary wage, you get tired of just sacrificing.
Because that's what we're doing.
Yeah. And now I'm circling back around to teaching. And do you feel like it's a lack of teachers because of the pay? And do you look at it like cops? Most Black kids, both male, female, they don't want to be cops. Do you feel like that's any correlation? Is like, do you feel like Black males, Black females want to be teachers?
In my experience, no. Definitely not cops.
Okay.
Definitely know that by being in the classroom. No, definitely not cops, but not teachers either. I probably got about 2 students throughout my 2 decades of teaching.
That's it. They want to be.
Yeah. Or seemed, those 2 seemed interested.
That is crazy. Out of 20 plus years, only 2 students that was eager enough to say, hey, I want to be a teacher.
Yeah. Most of them, some of them say, well, I could never be a teacher because look at what these kids are doing, and look at the way they spoke to so-and-so, and look at their behavior. Dealing with
personalities, multiple personalities, not only from the children, but from the parents.
Right.
Not only from the parents, but sometimes the staff. Not only from the staff, but sometimes the leadership. So I can understand why, you like, most people may be like, you know what, I'm cool on the headache.
Yes.
But if it's your passion,
yeah,
if it's something that you really driven about, you got to go for it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the pivot, the shift towards the entrepreneurship. Is this the first year? Is this the second year?
This is the first year.
First year.
First year.
Okay.
Getting started, trying to be business ready. But yeah, it's definitely been a turning point in my life, but this is my passion. I'm not in the classroom, but I'm serving teachers and students.
Both.
Right. I'm directly working with teachers, but by working with teachers, I'm serving students.
What is your main goal and purpose?
Have a lot of goals. My main goal and purpose is to empower all teachers to, and I keep saying this, to stand up for themselves. Because as a teacher, we're so used to always serving someone else, especially your students or someone at home, or just taking care of others and not taking care of ourselves. And that needs to change.
So you saying teachers probably need to be a little more selfish when it comes to themselves?
Yes. And they should be, because the one thing that we do at Education Empowerment, we help all teachers, right, to walk in their power, especially with teaching and learning with culturally relevant, sustaining education. Because you, as a teacher, the teacher have to definitely be aware of their cultural lens and their biases that they bring in, because we all have it, right? And we have to be aware of who our students are. And our students change from period to period. Some teachers teaching 150 kids, some teachers teaching 60. So it's definitely, yeah, you have to be selfish. I need to take care of myself, because if you as a teacher, if you're not here anymore, who's going to replace you at home? Your husband, wife, mother, father, sister, brother, son, daughter. Now in a classroom, they're going to find somebody to replace you in less than 6 minutes.
That fast.
So yes, you have to be selfish when it comes to yourself.
Do you feel like when COVID hit, do you feel like it helped the educational system or it hurted the educational system? When COVID first hit and it was just like, what the hell is going on? And I think it stopped some kids' seasons, graduations, the whole, now when they had no idea what COVID was, I don't think they even know what COVID is to today. What effects did you, if any?
I think it was definitely devastating for the kids because of that social interaction that they need. And they didn't have that. And now when we're back in the schools, I saw as a teacher, kids aren't communicating. They don't know how to talk to each other unless it's on social media, and things get construed on social media.
Yeah.
And then when they come to the school, they always want to settle it in school, because believe it or not, kids want to settle things or fight in school because it's a safe place.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to break it up.
Right. Yeah.
So it was definitely devastating on the students. But what I want to say about COVID is that all these things that have been going on, like, or the underserved schools and communities didn't have the resources that they need. It didn't start from COVID. They didn't have it years ago.
Yeah.
But it was just brought to light because we were actually shut down, and we really didn't have anything to be educated or to communicate with our teachers and things like that. So we never had the resources. So don't make it seem like just because COVID came, we didn't have it. We never had the resources.
Now, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, born and raised. Cleveland in your face. Cleveland in your face.
I wore my Steelers shirt.
Give me a school that's in the hood in Pittsburgh.
Wow.
That's the name of it.
Wow, it's on the hill.
What is it called?
Wow.
Wow.
UEIL.
Give me a school that's in one of the best parts of Pittsburgh.
I would say Kappa downtown.
Is there a difference between pay as far as teachers? Or is it a difference upon education and curriculum?
Education and curriculum.
How about activities?
Activities.
So the underserved and underprivileged is really the underserved and underprivileged. And is that the difference, or one of the difference that you're trying to highlight and make people see with your entrepreneurship with the new business?
Yes. And also for teachers, because there are teachers who really want to remain in a classroom, for teachers to have the knowledge and understanding and how to use culturally relevant sustaining education as their core of teaching, not the math or reading book, but use that as their core for teaching. So yeah, I'm definitely trying to help teachers with that.
Okay. We're getting ready to wrap up. Got a couple quick pointers I want to hit before we do. Just some fun facts. If you could be any animal in the world, what would you choose?
A cheetah.
Cheetah. We just had somebody say that on the last one too. That's crazy. What? Tell me why.
I love animal. I love cats, and they're fast, and they hunt.
Okay. All right. Kind of like teaching. The teacher, you're all in the pursuit of education. Yeah. Okay. If you had one wish, what would your wish be?
Just one.
Just one wish.
True equity, anti-racist, and equitable education for our Black students. Because if we have it for our Black students, we're going to have it for all of our students.
That's a great answer. Last question. If they were to hand Ebonie the keys to Pittsburgh, give me 3 things that you would change immediately.
Oh, that's a hard one. 3 things I'm going to change immediately.
What are some things about Pittsburgh that you absolutely love? And then think about some things about Pittsburgh that you'd be like, man, I can't, man, you know?
I'm going to start with education. I'm going to go with the salaries of teachers, not just teachers, all staff in schools. That includes paraprofessionals, counselors, teachers, everything. Also, I'm going to say we got to do better here with our food choices in Pittsburgh.
With the food? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
We need more variety.
Variety?
Yeah, we do.
What would you, okay, so this is right down our lane. What would you add? What do you feel like is missing?
So, authentic, real Chinese food.
Okay.
Not the quick stops.
Okay.
Real soul food. Just because you fry chicken or fish in the fryer don't make it soul food.
Yeah, absolutely right.
More authentic Mexican, just more authentic of the variety of foods. Everything is quick.
Yeah.
You just make it quick and you just eat it.
Yeah.
And yeah, my lifestyle has changed as far as health and eating and everything. So I don't do the quick stops or fast foods or anything. because everything is just too quick for me.
Yeah.
And it's just sloppy and it's not
Good for you.
good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're getting ready to wrap up. Shoot out your social media, shoot out where you could be found as far as business wise, information,
Yes.
everything that you want the people to know.
All right. So I am Dr. Ebonie. I am also known as the Courageous Educator. I am the CEO and lead consultant of Education Empowerment. You can catch me on Instagram. My Instagram is forever_teaching. You can also catch me on LinkedIn by my name, Ebonie Lamb, or you can catch me Facebook too. Same thing in Education Empowerment. Thank you.
I want to thank you, Eb. Eb is also family. I'm having a good time. We got more work to do. We hoping to build that bridge so we can continue to keep working and keep building here. I want to leave the people with just this real quick. Keep God first. Don't stop praying. Don't stop believing. And believe in health. Believe in wealth. Believe in knowledge of self, because that's what's going to get you to where you want to be in life. I am T Moore. This is Thoughts and Visions. Till the next time in between time. Peace.